We'd like to welcome everybody to Dolphins Arena as we have the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins hosting the Shiga Lakes. When we take a look at Nagoya, they're one of the top teams that we have here this season. On the other hand, an 11-game losing streak here in the face of the Shiga Lakes. They'd like nothing better than to stop that right here, right now, here tonight. Once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us here for B.LEAGUE action, and we've got a good one. It's the Shiga Lakes and Kiefer Ravenna going up against the squad of Ray Parks, of course, and the rest of his Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. There you can take a look at the team standings. Nagoya at 20-8, Shiga at 4-24. So actually, if you look at Nagoya, they're only 3 games behind Hiroshima. So you know that they're within striking distance, they're within sniffing distance of the leaders. As we take a look at Doblas, finding the open man. And a good sign is that gentleman there is back in action for his squad, Kai Taves. He has been saddled with some injuries here for the season, but with him playing the way he's playing right now, they're hoping they're able to come away with a victory. But unfortunately for them, you can see, in the last 2 outings, it has been losses here for the Shiga Lakes, losing 84-77 and then 99-87. As we take a look at still some of the highlights, it's going to be very important here for the Shiga Lakes. Maybe their season could be over if you really look at it. But as far as they're concerned, they want to be able to rack up the wins if they possibly can. The last time they were on the floor, they lost back-to-back games. Those are the highlights we were showing you to the Akita Northern Happinets. On the other side, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins have come up with a big win. They actually split last weekend their series against Utsunomiya Brex. They lost their first game 80-79, but they came back big in their next game, winning 70-67, and that was without Cody Clark. But now both these squads have a full roster. As we take a look at the starting 5 here for the Shiga Lakes, they're starting out with number 1. That's Kelvin Martin. Number 5, that is Jordan Hamilton. They also have number 7, Kai Taves. Number 32, Yosuke Carino. And number 99, their big man in the middle, Koya Kawamata. That's him right there, Koya Kawamata. He's their center, only 24 years of age, standing 6'8". The future is bright for that young man. They're looking to maybe possibly get him for the national squad somewhere down the line. And now it's time for the introduction of the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. There's Scott Etherton in action. Those are the results that we talked about earlier. A 1-point loss. That was on Saturday. And then the very next day on Sunday, they came back and won 70-67. And that was without Cody Clark. Cody Clark, who's been averaging 25 points a ball game for his squad. Without him in tow, they still were able to come away with the victory. They lost, but just by 1 point. And that was against one of the stronger teams here in the B-League in Utsunomiya Brex. Scott Etherton there. Fadeaway jumper. Expecting to lead the charge, but again, today, they have a full complement of imports because Cody Clark is listed. And that is their head coach, actually their assistant coach, in place of Sean Dennis, who was indisposed. That was Coach Koyahashi. And that's why there was a lot of fanfare about that particular win. Maurice Undur there on your screens right now. He had a solid showing the last time out, and they're going to need another solid outing if they can dispose of the Shiga Lakes here tonight. And now let's have the introduction of the Shiga Lakes. You had the starting five of the visiting squad. And now, the hometown Nagoya Diamond Dolphins here at Dolphins Arena. You can now see the comparative numbers from both these squads. Nagoya scoring a whole lot more. As you can see, a difference of at least almost 10 points if you look at it. And now here we go, the lineup of the Dolphins. And there you have the starting five here for the hometown squad. Starting out with number 1, Ray Parks. Number 2, Takumi Saito. Number 5, Maurice Endure. Number 12, Taito Nakahigashi. And number 43, Scott Etherton. And there you have Sean Dennis is back. On the other side, that is Coach Yasuda, who has taken over the coaching reins for Coach Luis Gil Torres, who was released from his duties here for the Shiga Lakes. As we take a look at our 3 referees handling proceedings here, we got referee Yako, referee Yachi, and referee Wajima. So the table has been set, and we're ready for tip-off here. Once again, let's go to the starters for the visiting Shiga Lakes, starting off with Martin, Hamilton, Taves, Carino, and Kawamata. The Dolphins parading Parks, Saito, Endure, Nakahigashi, and Etherton. A must-win situation here for the Shiga Lakes, and you can see Hamilton begging his team. We got to get this one. Scott Etherton, on the other hand, is a little bit more relaxed because he now knows he's got reinforcements coming in from the bench. Will it go as planned for the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins? We'll find out. Takumi Saito, one of the fastest players in the league. It'll be interesting to see who can actually match up with him. First possession goes to the Dolphins and Takumi Saito. Trying to put Kai Taves on him. Kai is much taller, maybe not as quick. From the outside, Parks hits, open scoring. It's 3-0 here for Nagoya. Almost a steal. And it's going to be an 8-second violation to start things off here. Not the way you want to start off. When one, you're on an 11-game losing streak. And number two, you're facing a team that is 20-8 and one of the leaders in the conference. They hand it to Saito once again. Let's see if they look for Parks early. He has proven he's got the hot hand. Endure. Nobody was guarding Scott Etherton. He comes up with a slam. And just like that, it is 5-0. Not a good sign here for the Shiga Lakes. At least here in the last minute, the first minute, check that. Martin working inside. That's a great move. Took a look around, saw Parks on him, and he felt he could take advantage. Parks wanted to repay the favor. Finds Scott. They'll swing it outside. Saito. Almost a 3-second violation there. Scott Etherton will just flip it up and will misfire. Endure will pick it up. Parks left open for another three. Bang! Back-to-back threes here for Ray Parks. He's got 6 points early on. A minute and a half gone here in the opening period. Martin once again swings it, finds Hamilton. Hamilton's gonna brick that one. Saito in no hurry. Early flip, and a foul is gonna be called there. That's gonna be the first on Jordan Hamilton. Nice early seal. Saito will just send it over to Etherton and get it back. Saito finds Scott, and Scott with 2 slams here. It's now an 8-point lead at 10-2. Offensively, Nagoya is getting everything they want. Here's Taves. Finds Big Boy. Kawamata will not hit. Saito once again to the wing. Parks. That's a nice find. He could have taken that 3. Found Scott inside. And Etherton will deliver his 6-point and an assist here for Parks. Let's see what Shiga's got coming off that timeout. Swing it to the wing. Carino for 3, a little bit offline. Parks comes away with it. Threading the needle. It's another slam! 3 slam dunks here already for the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. And they're up by 12. That time was Nakahigashi. Only 2 points on the board here for the Shiga Lakes. They might have to go to Kiefer Avena early. Another turnover. Saito. Saito's getting away, looking for the 3-point play. And they're going to say that he was fouled still on his way to the basket. Cody Clark's gonna come in. That's even more trouble now for Shiga. Etherton will give it out. Saito left open for three. He's gonna misfire. Doesn't miss that often, especially if he's that wide open. Hamilton to Martin. Martin's gonna trip and almost lost it. Parks couldn't hang on. A little bit of a break there for Shiga. They still have possession. Still no key for Abena here. Taves for three, yes! Finally they got 5 points. Kai now starting to find his range. Cody Clark dying to get back in action. Eventually, he's on the floor once again. Almost a steal. Shot clock's now down to 5. Saito from downtown will come up short. Hamilton tries to push forward. That's close. That's very close. And Saito felt that should have been their possession. Still, they've got a 9-point lead. Just about 4 minutes gone. And here come the reinforcements. Tatsuya Ito will come in. Suda will also check in. That's the regular substitution pattern of Coach Sean Dennis. That's Ito. He's the backup point guard here. Nice find. Not gonna drop there though. Pretty good look for Sugiura. Foul's going to be called there on Martin. Here comes Kiefer. First entry. Let's see if he can give Shiga a shot in the arm. Ito. On the outside, Clark. Couple of jab step moves and he'll have to give it up. Parks left open for another three. Short that time. The smallest man was inside. And Ito felt that it was touched last by the opponent, saying, let's review. You're not going to use the review this early in the match, especially since you're up by 9. Kai finds Kiefer. Kiefer will give it right back to the wing. Quick ball movement here. Hamilton. Hamilton from the free throw line. That'll rattle out. Clark with the board. You can just see the enthusiasm here in Clark to finally just get back in action. Kiefer Avena didn't see Cody Clark from the back. Little chase down block here from Clark. Nagoya not giving up anything. No easy pickings here for Kiefer. Maurice Endur will check back in. First rest for Scott Etherton. Kai. Nice release pass. Looking for another three this time. No. Sugiura is 0 for 2 from 3-point distance. Ito. Clark. That's a quick move. Goes inside. He'll be fouled. And that is going to be the 4th team foul of the Shiga Lakes. They're going to be in penalty. With still a lot of time to be played here in the 3rd. Excuse me, the 1st. 4:40 to be played. Nakaigashi back in. David Doblas is going to make his first entry here. Bringing in that hulking body of 6'10". Once played for the Spanish national squad. Now an 11-point lead enjoyed here by Nagoya. It's 16-5 our tally. Daves has not yet rested here. Gonna put his imprint here in this match. Can hit that medium range jumper. Clark once again. To the wing. Open three. Suda. Yes! It is now a 15-point advantage. Check that. 14 points. Math a little bit wrong that time. Just another turnover here for the Lakes. The ledger says 3 turnovers. Looks like they've had a whole lot more than that. They've only scored 5 points in the first 6 minutes of this game. Ito back to Clark. Ito's gonna get it. Ito left alone. You gotta stop the man with the basketball. Ito's first 2 points, and it's now a 16-point advantage. What a horrible start here for the Lakes. Hamilton back out. Taves will miss once again. Nice touch pass. Suda. And a battle inside is Cody Clark. Coming away with it. Taves finds Kiefer. Kiefer. Another turnover. Turnover number 4 officially. That's a poor foul. Because that's going to give 2 free throws here for the Diamond Dolphins. You gotta be smarter than that. Guy removing his shoe there, as you can see. Little discomfort. We hope he's okay. But Nagoya just continues to pad on those points as you take a nice look there at Coach Yasuda. That's short. Offensive rebound. Coach Yasuda saying, what happened? That's textbook, not boxing out. Ito hasn't gotten the calls twice already here. Hamilton will check back in. Kikuchi coming in for the first time. Manato Kikuchi, number 6, is a hard-nosed defender, standing 6'4". That's clearly a foul. Suda is another one of those 3-and-D players. That time being a little bit too physical. First personal foul on Suda. First team foul on Nagoya. Kiefer finds Hamilton. Hamilton will have to step back and miss. Doblas inside. Basket and one opportunity here for David Doblas. A little bit of positives starting to arise here for the Shiga Lakes. Nice smile from both imports as Hamilton says, "Did you like my assist?" And Doblas says, "Did you really pass that to me?" Two quick fouls going to be picked up here by Suda. He'll be replaced. Things are going good for their squad. They're up by 15. Saito's back in the ball game. Doblas, as expected, will convert that free throw. He's got a very good percentage from there. Cutting that lead to 14. Saito will misfire. Seiga Sakamoto in the ball game. What a move! He stopped, the defense did as well, and then he kept on going. Dobla says, that's a great move. You caught me there. Coming in now, one of the youngsters for the squad of Nagoya. Well, I guess at this stage, you like to be able to give everybody some playing time. Especially at this stage that maybe you're feeling that it's time to start to develop these young talent. So coming in is number 34. That's Hayato Wakugawa. Chance of defense, Doblas inside. They're going to say he was fouled before the act of shooting. Nice looking lob there. Doblas now. Try to position himself once again inside against Endure. Three, not gonna drop there for Kiefer. Good line though. Three on the way. That's gonna rattle out. That's touched last by Kikuchi. That was clear. Still a 16-point lead. Avoiding the double. Kiefer almost did another turnover. They forced the pass. Hamilton. Going to the other wing. Another easy block. Out of inexperience being shown here by the youngsters of the Shiga Lakes. That's a poor pass. That's a great interception and an easy slam here for Maurice. And the lead is now at 18 at 26-8. Doblas finds Sugiura inside. Oh, good hands there from the youngster. After that basket, looking for more. And again, another turnover. We're going the other way. Here comes Kawamata. And Kai Taves. 28 seconds remaining in the first period. Difference of about 3 seconds from the game clock and the shot clock. Almost losing it. Endure. Recovers. No look pass. Will they get the offensive rebound? No, they won't. Opportunity here. They're not going to get it to score. Not the best of quarters for the Shiga Lakes. But for the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, they're loving the 26 points. They're loving the 16-point lead after the first 10 minutes of play. Let's see what adjustments that we're going to see here from Coach Yasuda of the Shiga Lakes as we begin the second quarter. Ravenna will he try to post up? Yes, he will. Falling away. He'll come up short. Sakamoto held his ground there. Ito. Clark's back in action as well. Two-man game. Clark, left open, hits. It is now 29-10. That lead just continues to swell here for the Diamond Dolphins. Trying to make easy work. Nothing that time from Nomoto. Clark puts up another one. Cody Clark with back-to-back threes. Maybe a timeout should be called here by Coach Yasuda. It's now 32-10. Kawamata will lose it. That's a great effort there by Clark. Scott finds Sparks. Sparks back to Etherton. Etherton's gonna miss. A pretty good defense that time by Doblas. Etherton stands at 6'8". Doblas is a full 6'10", using his entire frame that time. First personal foul going to be called there on Scott Etherton, and suddenly we have Takumi Saito back in action. Same here with Hamilton. They got to try to make up some ground here. Nomoto will give it up here. Hamilton. Doblas with a curl inside. Doesn't get the pass. Finally gets it. His flip? No. Parks comes away with it. Parks has really helped in terms of his contributions. He's got 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 dime. A lot of playing time here for the youngster, Wakugawa. He's played at least 4 minutes already. Well, as they say, why not develop some of your youngsters? Nomoto will always battle. One of the toughest players you'll find here in the B-League. Saito tries to set it up. Two-man game, no switch. Scott gives it back to Saito. Saito definitely got hit in the face. And he still made that basket. And that lead just continues to grow. See him get hit in the head there. Still had the control. Still had the balance to make that shot. And he completes that three-point play. And the lead is now at 25. And now even more chance of defense from the fans here at Dolphins Arena. They want blood. Kiefer from the outside will misfire. Clark with the board. Clark quickly bringing it down. Quickly launching. There was a lot of contact there. They let it go. Kick out. Kiefer inside. Well, they say verticality. He got hit in the kisser there, but not moving an inch was Cody Clark. Watch it here. Yes, he was in the no charge zone, but he actually was just standing his ground. Etherton working against Hamilton. His flip will drop. Scott showing everybody the moves. It is now a 27-point advantage. Looks like we might be having a rout here this Wednesday night. Hamilton trying to convert all that steal. Nomoto. That rattles out. Suda with the board. Nothing Kiefer could do really, but just tie him up. Well, it looked like he was trying to make a play for the ball. Parks hands it inside. That's pretty good defense there from Doblas. And they're not going to get any fast breaks. Once again, tremendous transition defense. Checking back in is Seiga Sakamoto. Out is Takumi Saito. Timeout will be called here by the Shiga Lakes. They're down by a mountain and a molehill. 6 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. Carino's checked back in here. So has Kelvin Martin. Carino, that's his specialty. Hits that three. You're gonna need a whole lot more of that just to stay competitive, just to get back in this ball game. There's still a lot of time. Can they get it done? That's the question. Poor pass. Martin with the steal. Kiefer will try to push. Up against Sparks. Hamilton. Back to Carino. Foul's going to be called on Suda. Stopping the action. Coach Sean Dennis not that happy with the last couple of sequences. That's when coaches say, play defense with your feet, not with your hands and your arms. Looks like Suda's going to be replaced. Checking in is Nakahigashi. Looking at team foul situation, Shiga's got 3, Nagoya 2. Carino puts up another 3. Short that time. 1 out of 2 here in the second period. Endure. Trying to rush things. Why not? And scores once again. Lead is back up to 26. They want a quick victory here. They send it to the outside. There has been a lot of contact on the shooters, but that's one of the few times they're going to call a foul. Getting fouled there is Kyosuke Hoshino. Foul's going to be called to Nakahigashi, so 3 free throws coming up. Those 3 free throws will happen when we come back. 4:57 remaining in the first half as we usher in this official timeout. Hoshino's going to need these free throws, and he misses the first. They're going to need every opportunity to really get back, starting with these freebies. Adjust in the second. Nice look there at Sakamoto. Sakamoto is another one of those youngsters. A lot of great young players coming out of Japan here. Of course, you got 2 great youngsters that are playing in the NBA, in Hachimura and Watanabe. Endure with handoff. Parks thought about it. Will spin, and he'll be fouled. Kiefer saying, where? Let's see. Well, he might have a point. That foul is going to put Shiga in the penalty. Lo and behold, at exactly the 4-minute and 40-second mark. That tip's going to work there for Maurice Ndur. 41-15 is our tally. Nice find inside. Martin with a layup. They're going to need a whole lot more of those easy shots if they want to get back in this ball game. Nakahigashi forces the issue. 2 free throws coming up here for him. Taito Nakahigashi moving so well without the basketball. Quickly attacks. Hoshino not yet set. Hoshino, the guilty party. Nakahigashi a little bit to the left on that first. Ooh, they added a score. He missed. Now they can add a score. Exactly 4 minutes remaining before the halftime break. Kiefer all the way! Will misfire, asking for a foul, none given. Here comes Sparks on the other end. Sparks, little stutter step move, finds Ndur. Ndur can't convert though. Hamilton forcing the issue. Will get it back. Martin. His flip not gonna drop. Here's Sparks. Sparks. Easy pass. Nakahigashi made that really difficult, but he's gonna score anyhow. 2 points for Nakahigashi. A dime for Ray Parks. Lead is back up to 27. There's big boy Kikuchi. Carino can't find any space. Hoshino left open for three. Yes! Parks asking for isolation. Sets up Kikuchi. Reposts. That's great hands from Maurice Ndur. Pepe Kashiwaguro will pick up a foul. Maurice on the line for 2 shots. Here comes Scott Etherton, ready to come back in. He'll be checking in for Maurice. Short on the first. Well, Maurice has got to make the second one for him to lead the floor. He'll miss. He's got to stay on. So only one import here playing. Talking about 2 world imports. Can be played at a time. Hamilton's going to throw that away. Turnover number 8 for the Shiga Lakes. Scott finds Parks. Parks not gonna rush things. Saito back in action. The pass a little bit too low. We like the patience being shown here by the Shiga Lakes, despite the fact that they're down by a mountain. Still trying to look for the best shot available. Tepe. Inside Hamilton. That's great help, D. Martin, yes! In the nick of time. Layup's not gonna drop there for Nakahigashi. Tepe Kashiwagura. Well, Parks got down there quickly to make sure there was no layup. Martin into the heart of the defense, and a foul is going to be called. Not quite sure who it's called on. Well, it's called on that gentleman right there, Manato Kikuchi, his third. And that's going to put Nagoya in the penalty. So both these squads in the penalty now. Nice look there at Coach Yasuda. Trying to warm his troops up. Get them ready for the second half, where they can try to make an uprising. Open three, Nakahigashi will misfire. Hoshino, too strong. Tracked down there. They look for Hoshino once again. He can't ring the bell. Takumi Saito with a floater. A little bit too strong. Kawamata with the rebound. Let's see if they go for a 2-for-1. Tepe almost traveled. Looking for a 2-for-1, that's for sure. Clark back in the ball game, and he's going to track that one down. Difference of about 8 seconds from the game clock and the shot clock. Saito will miss. Parks is going to get another rebound. Almost a turnover. It is. Not quite sure why Parks was rushing things. That could have given them the last shot with that 14 seconds. Probably failing to realize the situation. And he apologizes. 6.4 before the halftime break. A chance. Kiefer comes right back in. Hamilton will get it to drop. They're going to have the final say. And a pretty strong finish here for the Shiga Lakes. They've somewhat silenced the crowd. And despite the fact that it's a big lead, you feel that the momentum has swung Shiga's way. At the half, it's 44-25. Nagoya still with the lead. Let's take a look at the highlights here of the first 2 quarters of play. Ray Parks hits that 3 to open things up. And it was all downhill for the Shiga Lakes, at least in the first 2 periods. Even a big slam there from Nakahigashi on the break. Just no transition defense whatsoever here for Shiga. Kiefer, sidestepping move, gets denied there by Cody Clark. Nothing easy for the Shiga Lakes. Doblas was able to get that. They were saying that was a pass, but it definitely was a shot and a miss. Steal. Easy slam. And actually, 4 slam dunks already here in the first half. For the boys in red, first half ended 26-10. And they continued the onslaught. It is a much closer second quarter. The Diamond Dolphins had 18 points. Shiga had a much better scoring at 15 as compared to 10 in the first period, but still, they lost out by 3. Hence this huge advantage. Slowly but surely though, they try to come back. They got it down to a manageable deficit. Look at that great shot coming there from Nakahigashi. Carino will give it up. Extra pass. Hoshino left open for that one. Now let's take a look at the numbers. Collectively, 45% shooting for the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins as compared to just 26% for the Shiga Lakes. Broken down in 2-point and 3-point distances. 50% to 33% and 38% as compared to 18%. Hence, the huge scoreline. Free throws, not necessarily a factor here. 8 turnovers each. Points in the paint, plus 12 for the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. And also when you take a look at the bench scoring, also plus 8, 18-10 in favor of Nagoya. More numbers, rebounding, 29 for Nagoya, just 17 for Shiga. Assists, plus 6 for Nagoya at 13 compared to 7 for the Lakes. The Lakes did have 2 more steals, 6 as compared to 4. Head-to-head matchup, this is unfair. Maurice Ndur with 4 points. Still to get on the board is Koya Kawamata. You can see those numbers up on the screens as he glanced up at the Jumbotron. As we take a look at some individual numbers now. Cody Clark leading all scorers with 9. He was backed up by the 8 of Etherton and the 6 of Ray Parks Jr. For the Shiga Lakes, 6 points for Martin, 5 for Hoshino, and 3 for Josh Hamilton. That's what we just talked about right there. Rebounding wise, Clark has 9. Very close to a double-double. Parks has got 6. And Scott has 4. On the other side, Hamilton with 5, 4 and 3 for Doblas and Martin respectively. We're getting a nice look here at number 7 for the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. That's their youngster, Yuto Imanishi. Well, seems like he might just get some playing time here today. On the other side, that's the youngster, number 34 of the squad from Shiga, Hayato Wakugawa. We saw a lot of Wakugawa in the first half. Now the second half. Saito starting once again. Saito will hit from 12 feet. Lead is back up to 21. Kiefer. Kiefer now starting. Surprisingly, no Kai Taves. Sugiura to the wing. Sugiura left open. Will come up short. Sugiura is 0 for 3 from 3-point distance. Sparks will go inside. Endure. Almost lost it. First to the floor is Sparks. But it looks like Ray's going to be called for that personal. Carino triggers in that inbound. Kiefer gets it past the timeline. Sticking to him like a leech is Saito. They send the double up high. Releasing Sugiura. Sugiura still can't hit. And he's still asking for the pass. Well, there's a reason why they're leaving him open. Kiefer from the free throw line will miss. No putback there from Martin. Saito with the handoff. Endure from the free throw line. Yes! Quietly, they're building that lead once again. It's now a 23. Thumbs up play. Says Hamilton. Kiefer. Jordan. Almost intercepted. They're trying to go inside. Saito gets there first. Saito. What a picture perfect pass! And a slam there for Maurice Endure. That was pinpoint. Another strong start once again here for the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, and the lead is back up to 25. Martin from 16 feet will come up short. Saito another rebound. Trying to release a pass. Doesn't get there to Etherton. Foul going to be called there on Saito. Duty foul just to stop the play, and he apologizes for that pass that just fell short. Two and a half quickly gone here in the third. Kiefer will send it over to Hamilton. Hamilton once again behind the back dribble. Just nowhere to go. Parks with a steal. Lead pass finds Endure. It's turnover after turnover, and still nothing there. Let's see if Saito tries to slow things down. No, he won't. He'll find Etherton. Etherton with the ill-advised pass. Saito doing the right thing. Saying, let's just give Hamilton that easy basket. But after that helter-skelter play after play, suddenly Nagoya will want to sue for time. Despite the fact that they're still up by 23. They're up 50-27. Cody Clark is now in. Working on a double-double. He's got 9 points. 9 rebounds. First taste of action for him here in the third. Saito finds Clark. Clark kisses it off the glass. Now he's got 11. That leads back up to 25. Adding some stability. Almost a steal it is. Etherton pushes it forward. 2-on-1 break. And he'll take it in all the way. Cody Clark will. Back-to-back points here for him. They have not yet resent Kai Taves inside. Ravenna coming up short there. Parks with the rebound. Saito, nice find. Nakahigashi finishes. And a timeout will have to be called now by Shiga. All the momentum has swung Nagoya's way. Back to the action here and chance of defense once again from the fans here at Dolphins Arena. Want even more. They want to end this here in the third period if they can. Martin up against a phalanx of defenders. Will have to put that one up. Parks with another rebound. Pushing it. Looks for Etherton inside. And he'll be fouled. Just lobbed it up there to his big man. They're really just showing their size. Smart play. Because he saw just Carino behind. A nice chat there between Kiefer Ravenna and Saito. First free throw is going to be short though for Scott. He'll make the second. And it's now a 30-point lead. Now they've even increased their lead. Even more. Kawamata's in the ball game. Another lob pass. That's pretty good defense there. As Kiefer Ravenna got knocked to the ground. They're just really trying to show that strength inside. Kawamata there with a little push on Kiefer Avena. That's why Kiefer got hit there. Suda will check back in. Still no Kaite. Stepe Kashiwagura is going to check in now. Play the one here for the visiting squad. Jordan Hamilton looking for space. Gets the switch. Kiefer has yet to score. And they're going to say he was fouled on the floor though. So they call the foul down low. Second personal foul going to be called on Parks. Not giving Ravenna any space. Ravenna gets the possession though. There's a switch, but there's the double. Wise move there from Carino. Quickly put that one up. Didn't have that much juice behind it though. But he was worried about the shot clock expiring. That's going to get them another 24. Check that, a 14-second shot clock. Ravenna. Carino. Carino was looking for a shot the whole way there. It's going to cut the lead down to 28. Ravenna has yet to score. Doesn't have a rebound. He has one dime though. Cody Clark from the outside. And this is now the biggest lead. No. This is now, it's going to equal their biggest lead at 30. Kawamata will find Hamilton. Now they've changed the score. This is the biggest lead at 60-29. Cody Clark really feeling it. Doblas will check back in together with Hoshino. Well, no timeouts anymore going to be called here, I think, until the fourth. Tepe. And they're going to run out of time. That's the point guard's fault. He's got to know the situation. Shot clock violation, and here comes Tatsuya Ito. They work it to Clark. Clark with the jumper. 62-29 is our tally. Wow. You don't say that too much here in the second half, but the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins have doubled up on Shiga. This is exactly double the score line. Endure outside of Clark. We're gonna see the clean crew in a bit. Talking about the fourth period. Clark inside. That's gonna rattle out. Gonna race down court. Hoshino. Force the issue there. Yasuda. Coach Yasuda asking for a foul. None given. That's gonna be a foul there on Doblas. Only the second team foul though. Well, you can understand where the referees were coming from. Check that. Looked like a forced shot there from Hoshino. Doblas just stopping the action. 2:20 to be played. And here's the youngster once again. So we've seen the youngster on one end. Wakugawa has played so far almost 6 minutes. Will we see Imanishi? I think we will in the fourth. Trying to thread the needle there, and Dobla says, you gotta cut to the basket. Well, the youngster will learn. Those two youngsters we're talking about are the special designated players for these two squads. What happens in the B-League is, in the latter part of the season, which is where we are now. Ooh, Doblas is going to hit the floor. Big collision there with Clark. Clark just threw him out of the way. Oh, they're going to review this one. Let's see if we're going to have an unsportsmanlike foul. Well, talking about the special designated players, these are youngsters that are actually still in college, but they're actually listed already in the lineups, and it gives them an opportunity to be able to see how it is playing in the pros, number one, and number two, it gives them a chance to be able to practice with all these great players on a daily basis. Well, unsportsmanlike foul will be called there in Cody Clark. And he acknowledges it. Jostling for position. That's not going to make Sean Dennis happy. So it's going to be 2 free throws here for Doblas plus ball possession. Doblas missed the first though. Converts the second. Now a chance for them to make this 3 points, but quick hands there from Ito. Swipes it away from Doblas. Clark from the outside will come up short. Endure with the offensive rebound, but that hit his head on the way out. That's good defense. Nakahigashi coming from the side. Clark, will he set up? Yes, he will. That's a long three. Just short. Kawamata going to be called for holding on to Endure there. Nagoya actually in the penalty already here. Kawamata really holding on to the shoulder there of Maurice Endure. That foul will put Shiga in the penalty as well, with 1:07 still to be played as Martin checks back in. A minute and change remaining. Clark to the wing. Ito. Foul's going to be called. That might be on Ravenna, and that's going to mean free throws. Slight nudge, and a foul will be called on Kiefer. That's going to be number 4. Kiefer has fouled out a number of times last season. Looks like they're going to keep him in here. You can't really call that a gamble here for Coach Yasuda. It's really now or never. 3-point play in the offing here for Cody Clark. And things have just gone from bad to worse for the Shiga Lakes. 3-point play in the offing. This is going to be a walk in the park for the Diamond Dolphins in the fourth period. Trying to complete the 3-point play. And he does. That lead is now at 36. So they have replaced Ravenna. Martin. Nice swing. That's gonna drop there for Tepe Kashiwagura. Difference of about 4 seconds from the game clock and the shot clock. We're gonna try to milk this one till the very end. Suda back rims that one. Here's Tepe. Hoshino. Doblas, nice find. That's a well-run fast break. Maybe something positive that they can take into the fourth period as they still trail by a lot. Heading into the fourth, it's 68 for Nagoya, 37 for Shiga. Fourth quarter is starting. And they're starting off with a press. Somebody's got to tell them they got a 31-point lead. Inside to Doblas. Scott Easterton will be called for his first personal. Nice seal that time from Doblas. I thought they'd send in the clean crew. This early they can. They're up by 31. Doblas sealing once again. Doesn't get the pass. Martin inside. Will miss. Etherton with the rebound. And Saito will bring it up. Saito still in the ball game. Etherton still in the ball game. This is essentially their starting five except for Suda. Saito's there saying, there's nobody inside. I wanted another assist. The steal's going to be coming here from Martin though. Martin up against the double. Kashiwagura inside to Doblas. Quick hands once again by the defense. Suda will be fouled. Duty foul coming from Tepe Kashiwagura. Both teams playing really tough defense. You'd think it'll be a free-flowing game here in the fourth. Second personal foul going to be called there. Nobody's giving anything easy. And you can see Tepe there telling his team, let's go, let's go. As they settle into a zone. Saito will get it back. Puts up a floater. It's not going to drop. Scott's there for the offensive rebound, but eventually he'll lose it. Saito saying, that was so close. Well, yes, it was. There's that last piece of action. Just not getting the shooter's roll. Oshino from the outside hits that three. Coach Yasuda likes what he sees. His team still fighting tooth and nail, despite the fact that this game is actually over. Oshino on the top. Nomoto will give it up. And they're gonna say he carried the basketball. Playing with a little bit more purpose here in the fourth period are the Shiga Lakes, which is quite surprising. They should have done that from the get-go. Saito from the free throw line, yes. Back up to a 30-point lead at 70-40. Trying to find Doblas as Hamilton gets ready to check in. David! Etherton gets thrown to the ground and says, how was the foul on me? They have to hold on to him there. Now there you could hear exactly what Scott was talking about. He didn't like that. There's a little clip there on his arm. And he said, I could have broken my wrist. Doblas is a strong individual. As you saw there in that replay. Well, the referee saw that it looked like he was reaching in. That's why the foul was called on him. Those are what they call the tricks of the trade. And Doblas, who has played for the Spanish national squad before, has played so much international ball. Makes that first free throw. Gets a second to drop as well. You can see Coach Yasuda asking his team to just keep pushing. It's definitely their 25th defeat. But he wants his team to fight. Nice tap from the back there from Doblas. He's running the floor well. Almost a steal there. Nakahigashi. Things starting to heat up here between Etherton and Doblas. That's a good substitution. I like exactly what Coach Sean Dennis has done. He's removed Etherton and he's brought in Maurice Endur. Here comes Parks as well. I say I like it because things were starting to escalate between Doblas and Etherton. Kiefer back in the ball game as well. He has yet to score. Doblas inside. Endur will bring it down. They got the pressing defense and they're going to come up with a steal. Nomoto, easy layup. And look at Coach Yasuda and the rest of his coaching staff pushing his boys. Floater's not going to work. Hoshino to Hamilton. Doblas will spin and lose it. Nomoto puts up a three and hits. And a timeout will now have to be called by the Diamond Dolphins. Suddenly, it looks like they've relaxed a little bit too early. Six minutes, 24 seconds remaining here in this ball game. It's a one ball game here by the Diamond Dolphins. But suddenly picking up the intensity was the visiting squad. Cody Clark with another miss there. Hamilton with the handoff. Hoshino. Ravenna forces the issue and will come up with a turnover. Well, they've cut the lead down to 21 from a high of 36. Inside, another layup missed. That was Sakamoto there. 3, Ravenna, no. That would have cut it down to just 18 with a lot of time still remaining. Now they're going to use clock. Sakamoto's pass almost picked off. What a rally being put together here by the Shiga Lakes. Given up for dead. Well, they're still down by a bundle, but well, 21 points is still much better than 33. And then Parks is going to hit that three. That's going to stop that rally dead in its tracks. Parks now with 3 threes in the ball game. Hamilton tracks that one down, puts up a three of his own and hits. That will bring us to this official timeout. You saw Kai Taves on the bench. He has not been reinserted here after he was relieved in the first half and he was looking at his foot. If they're able to come back, this is going to be probably one for the ages. Trying to make a game out of it still. That's going to stay here in this end. Tatsuya Ito in now. I don't think we're going to see Takumi Saito back in the ball game. They want to save him for even bigger games ahead. The season is still young. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Maurice Endure now on the line. Trying to put the finishing touches to this victory here, which will be victory number 21 for the Diamond Dolphins. Well, the shot clock wasn't running. Okay, now they got it sorted out. Hamilton's gonna force this three. Doblas inside! Using his entire 6'10" frame. Getting that offensive rebound, putting it through. They're still down by 24 though. And now, wisely, Nagoya using clock. That's gonna be an offensive foul though. Maurice Endure wasn't set. Not quite sure why they were trying to go for their offense that early in the shot clock. They might have been better served going in the last 10 seconds or maybe even 8 seconds. The clock is now their friend. On the other side, the Lakes have got to force the issue. Score as quickly as they can. Nomoto inside, gets denied there by Endure. They're saying that hit Nomoto's knee on the way out. Let's see. What a terrific call there from the referee. Maurice Endure says, not in my house. Nomoto has given them good minutes as Tepe Kashiwagura comes back in. Floater! Not gonna drop. Look at that. Ito just got all the way through. Suddenly the effort has just died down here for the squad of the Shiga Lakes. 78-54 is our tally. Ravenna to the wing. Hamilton, double teamed, has to cop out. Goes inside to his big man. Doblas can't track it down. But it's saved, and Doblas inside is going to score once again. David Doblas coming up with a pretty good scoring fourth period. He has 14 points, 8 rebounds here tonight. Maurice Endure will attack. Somebody's got to remind them that they don't really need to score. They want the clock to continue to run. Scott Etherton's going to check back in. So I guess we're not going to see the youngster, number 7, Yuto Imanishi, in the ballgame as Kikuchi checks back in. Scott is going to hit from the outside. Also checking in here for the final 2 minutes and change is Toshihiro Nakatsuka. Etherton now in double digits. Hamilton inside. Up and under move works. As we enter the final 2 minutes of this one, with the outcome already settled. Scott. Well, you know he's going to put that one up. Talking about Nakatsuka, he hardly sees any playing time. He'd like to score if he could. Parks hits the deck. Gets picked up there by Doblas. Scott will be fouled there by David. They're still not wanting to give up anything easy. There was a shove from Hamilton. Referees don't stop play. And now we're going to see the youngster. There is Imanishi. I felt he should have been given a little bit more playing time. With about 5 minutes, you could have given him more burn. Let's see if they try to get the youngster involved and let him score. They go inside. That looks like that's going to be the final foul of Kikuchi. Well, he's really in there to sacrifice his body. No, there's just his 4th. Nagoya now is in the penalty though. Hamilton, sidestepping move. That's not going to drop, but there's Doblas once again. Doblas now with 16 points, 9 rebounds. Nagoya is not really taking care of the basketball here this entire 4th. Look at the turnover stories. They've got 16 in total already. And look for Imanishi, no. Foul is going to be called there on Hoshino. And that will also put Shiga in the penalty. 59.3 to be played here. There's the other youngster. That was Hayato Wakugawa. Wakugawa actually played meaningful minutes. He played in the first half. Imanishi. Nice find. It's going to be an assist there for Imanishi as Nakatsuka hits that 3. It's going to be an 8-second violation. That's a good call. And Doblas was saying he released the pass already. Maybe not. Let's see if they use clock. Or if they get their youngster involved once again. They ask him to create. Here's Imanishi again. Imanishi falling away just short. Difference of 3 seconds on the game clock, shot clock, and I don't think they're going to try to score here anymore. Ito says, we're going to just dribble this out. Wise decision. And that will be your final scoreline here this evening. Nagoya 85. The Shiga Lakes 62 as Nagoya picks up win number 21 against 8 setbacks. It is a wire-to-wire finish here for Nagoya. They quickly got off to a 5-0 start. Made it 8-2. And they just continued to pour on the pressure. They never looked back. There's Kai, and you can see Coach Sean Dennis checking up on Kai, hoping that he's okay. Remember, he is part of the Japanese national squad. They want to make sure that he's healthy for international competitions. There's your quarter scoring. And winning just about every quarter except for that fourth were the Diamond Dolphins. On 4 of their last 6. Here now is Coach Sean Dennis.
見事勝利です。皆様の本当に熱い熱いが選手に届きました。それではここでショーン・デニスヘッドコーチにお話を伺いたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
皆さんこんばんは。It was nice to play a game of nearly having our full team back. You know, unfortunately 10's still out, but it was good to see us out there and enjoying the game and giving you guys something to be proud of.
全員戻ってプレー、テン選手がいないんですけど、それ以外全員が戻ってやっとプレーできたっていうのがちょっと楽しかったです。で、皆様も楽しんでもらったと思います。
You know, it's been a tough 6 weeks with travel and injuries and players ill, etc. But to the team's credit, we've kept fighting as hard as we can, and we're tracking along quite well. So it's getting more exciting as the season goes forward.
辛い6週間でしたが、怪我人もあって、病気した選手もいて、でもなんとか乗り越えてここまで来ました。
Anyway, again, thank you for coming out on a cold night and Wednesday night. It was great to have your support as always. We look forward to a small break, and I wish the guys going to the All-Star weekend to have a great weekend. Arigatou gozaimasu.
寒い中来ていただいてありがとうございます。これでちょっと、休憩が入りますけど、オールスターに行く選手もいますが、また、頑張ります。
ショーン・デニスヘッドコーチでした。ありがとうございました。それではここで本日のオンファイヤー賞を発表いたします。本日28,760ファイヤーを獲得し1位となったのはスコット・エサトン選手です。エサトン選手おめでとうございます。さあ改めて本日試合を終えての感想を教えてください。
I mean, it was a good win in front of our home crowd. A team effort, a lot of energy, so it was a good win.
いい勝ちでした。皆様の前で、ホームの前で、みんなエナジー出していい勝利だと思います。
今年初めてのドルファミ明けましておめでとうございます。最後に皆さんに一言お願いいたします。
Thank you for your support last year, and we look forward to having the same support for this year.
去年のサポートありがとうございました。今年もまたよろしくお願いします。
エサトン選手でございます。おめでとうございます。それではここで記念撮影を行いたいと思います。エサトン選手おめでとうございました。さあ皆様お待たせいたしました。本日の MVP 選手発表したいと思います。本日の MVP はレイ・パークス・ジュニア。さあレイ選手は第1クォーターの活躍で見事このねドルフィンズに勝利をもたらしました。そして今日はですねスリーポイント4分の3、75% の確率で決めております。改めましておめでとうございます。レイ・パークス・ジュニア選手です。大きな拍手を。改めましておめでとうございます。さあ今日試合を終えての感想を教えてください。
Like what Scott said, it was a great team win. We played great defense, and we want to continue to build our identity.
スコットが言ったように、チームで勝ち取った、試合でした。本当にディフェンスが良かったと思います。今日は
レイ選手の今のこの今コンディション的なものはいかがでしょうか。
We're definitely working hard, so we're in the best shape that we can be right now. We want to continue to play at a high level, so we want to stay healthy, and it's glad I'm happy that we got Cody back.
コンディション的にはいいです。いつもきつい練習とかしてますので、本当に今コンディションは最高です。でもコティ選手が帰ってきたのは本当に嬉しいです。
それでは最後に今年最初のこのドルフィンズアリーナの試合でした。最後にドルファミの皆様に一言お願いいたします。
We
Wait, Japanese. Yongo.
First of all, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for your unconditional love and support. We really appreciate it, and we love playing in front of you guys, and we hope to make you proud this year.
明けましておめでとうございます。いつもサポートありがとうございます。皆様のサポートは本当に心に、響くものです。今年も、みんなが誇りに思える活躍をしたいと思っています。
ありがとうございます。改めまして本日の MVP はレイ・パークス・ジュニアにいってもう一度大きな拍手をお願いいたします。それでは本日の MVP レイ選手の推し国アース・インド・アース・ファイヤーでセプテンバー。さあそれではドルフィンの選手がアリーナをお見送りいたします。新型コロナウイルス感染拡大の防止から 選手のハイタッチは行いません。何卒ご了承ください。
So there you heard from all the players. Two players, in fact, Scott Etherton and Ray Parks, as all the teams in the B-League prepare for the All-Star break. As early as now, we'd like to invite you for the All-Star break this Friday and Saturday, where you're going to see all the big names in B-League action. 2 days, as we mentioned, here this weekend. Kiefer will get blocked here. Not giving up on the play once again is Cody Clark, and you can see Scott Etherton was very happy. So was Parks about the fact that now they have a full complement of imports. Doblas will get another rebound. That's actually a rebound and a putback. Doblas, as we mentioned, would finish with 16 points. He also had 8 boards. Tremendous start here for Nagoya as they took the first period 26-10. And they continue to pour on the pressure, winning the second quarter as well, just by 13 points, but still it was a victory here of sorts as they increased their lead to 44-25 after 20 minutes of action. Hamilton will go inside to Martin. Martin didn't really see too much playing time today. Checking the box scores here. Hamilton started together with Martin, but Martin only played 19 minutes. Hamilton played 32. Doblas actually played a little bit more at 22. Usually it's Doblas who sees the least playing time among the imports here. Martin sees a lot of time, but not today. Underhanded pass finds Endure, and Endure finds that slam dunk. And now a slam dunk here. Well, he could have slammed it through, but he just laid it up. Cody Clark is going to hold on to this one till the very end, until he lays it through. Actually, both these teams just went through the motions, really, in the second half. Asuda hit that three because it was already a huge lead. But Doblas there really fighting hard together there with Martin. They would score. That last play was the end of the third. And then Saito's going to hit this 15-foot jumper. That would be his last points before he was rested. Hoshino drains that three. Check that was Nomoto. Hamilton with a step back jumper. Tatsuya Ito will come in and help out from the backcourt. Here's the youngster with an assist. That was Yuto Imanishi setting up Toshihiro Nakatsuka. And that's going to bring us to our final score, 85-62. And it's numbers time. Field goal shooting, 47% as compared to 35% in total in favor of Nagoya. When you break it down, there you can see it on the screens. It's 51% as compared to 42%, and 43% as compared to 25% for Nagoya and Shiga, respectively. Getting 4 more free throws was Nagoya, but free throws really not the story of this match. Turnovers, just too many for the Shiga Lakes at 19. 16 for Nagoya. Actually, 6 of those 16 came in the latter part of the game, wherein play got a little sloppy here for Nagoya, but in the end, they'd still win the ball game. They have a +8 advantage, points in the paint. Just about even, bench scoring. But when you take a look at the rebounds, +9 in favor of Nagoya, 45 as compared to 36 for the Shiga Lakes. In the assist department, it's a runaway. +13, 27 assists for Nagoya and just 14 for the Shiga Lakes. Steals just about even. In fact, Shiga had 2 more. 12 as compared to 10. And here's the scoring. 21 points for Cody Clark, 13 for Etherton, and 13 also for Maurice Endur. In a losing effort, Doblas would have 16, 12 for Hamilton, and 8 there for Hoshino, and 8 also for Kelvin Martin. If you're a numbers person, here we go. Rebounds. Cody Clark with a double-double. He had 12 boards, 9 rebounds submitted there by Parks, and 6 by Maurice Endur. Doblas had 9, Hamilton had 7, and Martin with 4. That's what we just talked about. But Doblas actually had 9, not just 8. If you want more numbers, let's talk about the assists. Leading the assists is Takumi Saito, as expected. He had 8. Ray Parks, overall great numbers. He also had 4 dimes and 3 dimes for Cody Clark. On the flip side, Hamilton had 4 assists and 2 apiece for Kashiwagura and Doblas. And that's going to do it here for our coverage this Wednesday evening. Coming away with the victory once again, the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, as they improve to 21-8. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Till next time, thanks for joining us for B-League action. Have a good week ahead. Take care, everybody. God bless.